Today on Commander Replay, after the Syr Konrad Reanimator didn't pan out, we're back with Syr Konrad Aristocrats combo. Will Aristocrats be better than Reanimator? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter in Anderson Paulino. Anderson, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. And if you're looking to purchase new cards, be sure to use the TCG affiliate player link because it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Today's deck list comes as voted on by Patreon supporters, with Syr Konrad coming in second at 24% of the vote, while I'm still trying to figure out how to build Syr Konrad, but I hope to have that done soon. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some more Syr Konrad the Grim. Got a new build of this deck. I'm trying a more Aristocrats-based build. This should be a fairly fast combo deck. We're going to try to race to the win about as quickly as we can. I would guess that's probably somewhere around turn 6, turn 7 if everything goes well. But anyway, we won the die roll. Let's take a look at this opening hand. We got 3 lands, Cavern of Souls, Phyrexian Tower, Ambition's Cost. Yeah, I think I like this hand. Let's go ahead and keep that. Alright, that brings it to our turn 1. We draw a Bojuka Bog. Ooh, yeah, against Olivia. We're going to try to hold on to that Bog just as long as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and play the Swamp right here. And we'll go ahead and pass. So as I mentioned, we are playing Syr Konrad the Grim, 3 black for a 5/4. Whenever another creature dies or is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves the graveyard, Syr Konrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then you can pay 1 in a black. Each opponent puts the top card of their library into the graveyard. Pretty strong mono black commander. Cares about a lot of things that mono black likes to do, which is put creatures in the graveyard and take them out of the graveyard. So just a lot of synergy with Syr Konrad. And it's been decent out of the command zone. My previous build with the Reanimator deck wasn't working as well as I hoped, so I'm hoping this one goes a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. The mana curve is definitely lower, so it should be much quicker getting everything online. Oh boy. Golos off to the races. They've got Ancient Tomb, they've got Mana Crypt, they've got Mana Vault. That is a lot of stuff. I think we're looking at a turn 1 Golos. There it is. All right, well, this is going to be trouble. Find out who brought removal with them. Our All Is Dust does not hit Golos, or most of their things, which is unfortunate. And they go for the Cascading Cataracts first. Yep, that's a good one. So if Golos makes their next land drop, they're going to be on a casual 6 mana on turn 2. That's going to be pretty ridiculous. Here comes a Soul Ring for the Olivia opponent. I would love to see like a Fleshbag Marauder out of them next turn. For us, it's still going to be a minute away before we can get to that. Not that we have one, we'd also have to draw into it. We do have a Mutilate, but with our current hand, it's going to take a little while to get to that Mutilate. Let's go ahead and play the Cavern of Souls. I'm going to choose Human. And we'll get our Zulaport Cutthroat into play. Use the Cavern of Souls ability, make sure it doesn't get countered. Yarok could also have Fleshbag Marauder type effects. Wouldn't be a stretch to think that there are any in that one. So, got some upkeep triggers for the Golos. It's going to be a Mana Vault and a Mana Crypt. They win the Mana Crypt. I was kind of hoping they would lose it. If we can bleed their life out just a little bit, that'll go a long way in trying to deal with them. Ooh, yeah, if we can get them to tap Ancient Tomb every turn, that's also a great way to make life go away. Scroll Rack coming down. Opponent's going to activate the Scroll Rack. Yep. Not a lot in the way of colored mana, which is good. They do have the Cascading Cataracts, so they can filter at some point to get that Golos ability, but at least for, you know, the time being, if they're trying to cast like green ramp spells, they do not have what they need to do that, but we'll see what happens after the Scroll Rack next turn. Alright, there's an Ancient Tomb. Opponent's going to go for a Crucible of Worlds. No lands in graveyard yet. Part of me is debating whether we should Phyrexian Tower the Zulaport Cutthroat to get Ambition's Cost this turn. Opponent's going to send the Golos our way. Yep, cool. No blocks. Opponent's going to Tormenting Voice. Sure. They discard an Erebos. Gonna need someone to lay down an Urborg to turn on this Mutilate. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Swamp. I'm thinking we do the Phyrexian Tower play right here. I don't think we can just like idly sit around for another turn with Golos doing all the things that it's doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Play the Phyrexian Tower. Sacrifice the Cutthroat. It'll do 1 damage each opponent. Get the Ambition's Cost. There's a Damnation, and there's a Morality Shift. Those seem good. Red 8 cards in hand, so we're going to have to discard right here. Just discard a Swamp. I'm going to sit on this Bojuka Bog as long as humanly possible for the Olivia opponent. We've seen this deck in the past. It is a graveyard deck. Looking at what our opponents are playing, by the way. First up, we have 7/10 life playing Yarok the Desecrated. Panharmonicon on a stick. Very powerful commander. Basically jam any ETB creature in there, and it's going to be pretty good. Next up, we have Champion Thune piloting Golos. Golos off to a crazy start this game with all the mana rocks, hitting a turn 1 Golos and having a whole lot of mana on turn 2. It's turn 3, and it already feels very late. And then finally, we have Lord of the Board piloting Olivia Mobilize for War. We've seen this deck a few times, and it's a Reanimator deck. Basically going to dump a lot of things into the graveyard and try to pull it out with stuff like Balthor the Defiled, Living Death, and cards like that. So that's why I've been sitting on that Bojuka Bog as long as humanly possible. Only a land out of the Yarok, so pretty slow start for them. That's a Mirari's Wake for the Golos. That is interesting. That'll probably give them... Oh, that's a Swan Song. Nice. Opponent Swan Songs it. Mirari's Wake down. So here's a question. Golos has 1 card in hand. Scroll Rack with 1 card in hand is, like, not amazing. Golos going to swing over to the Yarok. Yeah. Like, is Golos safer in play right now than it is in the command zone? Because if it goes back to the command zone, they're going to try to recast it. Let's see how much mana they actually have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they would have enough to recast Golos, which means they get another land, which puts them closer to all the colors they need. Golos may actually just be okay for right now. I don't think they can activate. They're on 7. 1 more land. Yeah, 1 more land and they can activate Golos, I think, because if they have 8 and they filter through the Cascading Cataracts, I think that gets them there. On the other hand, the way our tempo is set up right now, we're set up to go Damnation on 4, Syr Konrad on 5. If we skip the Damnation, then we kind of have to live... what's this? Then we kind of have to live with the fact that Damnation's going to hit our commander. Opponent's going to play a Fateful Showdown, deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards in your hand, discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Okay, so it looks like Golos is going to go down anyway. It's not a decision that we'll have to make at this point. Opponent's going to activate the Scroll Rack in response. Opponent discards Phyrexian Altar, Exhume, Razaketh, Wheel of Fortune, and Stitch Together. I feel like a few of those they probably wanted in their hand. I feel like Razaketh's the only one they really wanted in the graveyard. Oh, we got to be careful if they play a Wheel of Fortune. Oh, when did we play this Bojuka Bog? Didn't really need another swamp right there. I think I'm going to play the Gaia Reach Sanitarium. I don't think there's really a reason to activate the Gaia Reach right here. I think we'll activate Gaia Reach on the end step, and then look to go Swamp Syr Konrad on our coming turn. I mean, basically at this point, so we have Ulamog in the deck, which means if we Morality Shift and then Ulamog shuffles everything, assuming that Syr Konrad's working properly, which I'm not entirely convinced that it is, that should do a lot of damage to our opponents and be probably something close to lethal. There's about 22 creatures in the deck, which might be a little bit low for the style of deck. I'm not a super good Aristocrats builder. Jolt 539 is the Aristocrats builder, and I've just never really mastered the concept that well. I try to think of Aristocrats as like maybe a 3 or 4 piece combo where you're trying to assemble, maybe about 4 things, and then you kind of loop stuff. Now it's become fairly easily to loop things infinitely or, arbitrarily large, which is generally good enough to kill everyone at the table. But yeah, my Aristocrats building is like not the best. I don't know all the little ins and outs that really make the deck tick, like exactly how many creatures you want, that sort of stuff. So yeah. Anyway, Croson Grip on the Scroll Rack, so Scroll Rack down for our opponent. Yarok seeming to be playing a control role this game, firing off some removal with Swan Song and a Croson Grip. Alchemist Refuge for our opponent. Golos back to play. Yep. Wouldn't mind seeing that Urborg, but they may also be aware of that. They go Field of the Dead. Gross. They're on 6 right now, so that puts them pretty close. Can swing the bird into the Yarok. Yep. Here comes Olivia Mobilize for War. Yeah. I really like this deck. 1, because I don't see a lot of Olivia Mobilize for War. Like, I just don't see anyone running it. And 2, because it's actually, it's found a really interesting way to take advantage of the discard effect and be pretty effective. So, I don't know. I think it's just a really cool deck. And with that, that's going to bring it to the end step, so let's activate the Gaia Reach Sanitarium right here. We have mana flooded slightly. Golos only has 1 card in hand, so they're going to have to discard it. They get to look at a second one first, but that's a Mind Crank. Mind Crank is pretty cool. Let us discard the Swamp. Opponent discards a Royal Elemental. That's a nasty card. Landfall. Gain control of target creature for as long as you control Royal Elemental. Woof. There's Altar of the Brood. Well, we found our combo pieces. Question is, Do we go for our commander this turn, or do we go for... Ooh, there's a Runescar Demon in the graveyard. I think opponent's close. I think I might go... I think I'm going to go Mindcrank Altar of the Brood this turn, and then Bojuka Bog. I don't want to lose the Bojuka Bog because they might be thinking about a wheel real soon because there are a lot of wheels in that deck. So let's not lose all of our cool stuff. I guess should we think about the damnation? I think we can survive the Golos for a turn. Let's start with the Altar of the Brood. Then play the Mindcrank. That'll trigger the Altar of the Brood. Each opponent will mill one. Oh, we milled a Narset. Yeah. Narset down. Get rid of it. That is a nasty card. And, ooh, and a Time Twister. Time Twister down. Yeah. All right. Getting rid of all the nonsense. Feeling good. Let's play this Bojuka Bog. Bog on the bottom. Target Lord of the board. So their Mesmeric Orbs in the graveyard. Runescar Demon. A couple reanimate spells. Exhume in there. Razaketh. An altar down. So hitting some big pieces. Teamer Sabertooth. Another combo piece. Yeah. Oh, we just hit so good on the Golos. Oh, Altar of the Brood. Such an underrated card. I know it shows up in infinite combo loops, and that's definitely what we're doing here. I mean, maybe we're not completely infinite on every single thing, but, like, milling combo decks is decently effective. Because as a combo deck, you're looking for specific pieces that you want to try and play. And if you're milling them, and especially if they don't have like an Eternal Witness in hand to get them back, you know, they just don't have access to those pieces any longer. And sure, maybe there's something in the deck that gets it back, but as long as they don't have it right now, and as long as they don't have a way to tutor for it, like, you are going to put them off their combo for at least several turns. So it either shuts them down or slows them down, both of which are good for you doing your thing to try and win the game. And I've seen that before with Altar of the Brood and Mesmeric Orb, like against, I think it was a Baby Jace player that was in a game a long time ago, and we just milled them a couple with Mesmeric Orb, and they lost like all their best pieces, and I can't remember what now, but like then they just scooped because, yeah, combo decks don't like their stuff getting milled. Now, creature decks, on the other hand, if it's a deck that's full of like 30, 35 creatures, they don't care as much. They just play creatures and then they kill you. So watch out for that. But yeah, against the more combo-heavy setting, Altar of the Brood can do some work. But you do have to be careful of graveyard-based decks. Altar of the Brood probably will help out Olivia if they have a reanimate spell at some point. So that's a thing. Opponent mills a little bit more to the Mindcrank from the Mana Crypt trigger and Mana Vault trigger. They lose a Dockside Extortionist, so more good hits. Opponent going to tap that Ancient Tomb. More Mindcrank triggers. Yeah, next turn is just get our commander in, hope it sticks. It's really the plan. Yep, opponent's going to filter the mana, and this looks like it's going to be a Golos activation. Oh, Vampire Tutor first, of course. Ooh, turn spell. Funny story. When this Vampire Tutor resolves, Mindcrank is going to trigger, and it's going to mill the card that they're going for. Man, maybe Mindcrank is the card I needed. Sick of people playing Vampire Tutors in combo decks and just, like, going for the win and killing me immediately. Maybe Mindcrank is the card that I need. So, Vampire Tutor resolves, and Mindcrank's going to mill them. Let's find out what it was. Oh, it was a Kozilek. So, assumingly they planned for that. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if they planned for that or not. But that does reshuffle their graveyard, so it puts a lot of tools back in their deck. And then they're going to activate Golos. 2 lands and a Heroic Intervention. That is a whiff. Yeah, surviving the Golos so far. They do hit a land, though, and that's going to trigger the Field of the Dead, and the tokens are going to start piling up. Opponent just going to cast the Heroic Intervention because nothing else to do. Opponent sending an attack our way. Yeah, I think we deserve that at this point. Oop, that's an Atali. Atali is pretty good. And Yarok still playing control, thinking not. That's going to be a Plasm Capture on the Atali. They're going to get a crap ton of mana on their turn. But in that sense, I am glad that Atali is not hitting the battlefield right now, because Atali's very scary. Very, very scary. And that's going to send Olivia over to the Yarok. Very nice. And that'll trigger the Mindcrank. Oh, we milled the Urborg. That's the one we wanted. We did get their Sylvan Library, though. I'm always happy to get rid of a Sylvan Library. That'll bring it back to our turn. There's a Dictate of Erebos. Not set up to use that at the moment. So we're just going to play the Swamp and then cast our commander. That will trigger the Altar of the Brood. Oop, Terminus. Terminus gone. Nice. They were going to Miracle that, too. Would have been even worse. Use the Cavernous Soul so we don't get countered. And we'll play Syr Konrad the Grim. That'll also trigger the Altar of the Brood. We hit some creatures. That triggers the Mind Crank. That triggers the Syr Konrad. All right, we got a little loop going. See how long we can keep it going. We got some more Mind Crank triggers. Uh-oh, we found a Crater Hoof. It's going well. It's going well right now. Syr Konrad keeps triggering. We keep hitting creatures. I'm not entirely convinced. Oh no, I crashed it. Oh no. Well, I think we had it. Like, it seemed to be continuously triggering, and Yarok had a lot of creatures, which we kept hitting. If we didn't just win, opponents were going to be at very low life totals. Yeah, Altar of the Brood, Mesmeric Orb, and Syr Konrad. Oh, God. Oh, God. But, yeah, Altar of the Brood, Syr Konrad, and Mind Crank putting in some work right there. Mind Crank with Syr Konrad seems pretty good. As soon as something hits the battlefield, and especially if you're playing against creature decks, it's going to be a lot of triggers. So anyway, this seemed to go much better than the Reanimator version of the deck. And but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.